Dudes and dudettes, welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome back to the vlog. So it's been about 3 months since the last update video. I apologize for lack of content, just been busy doing other things besides making videos. But having said that, I want to make this video very short and simple, talk about my career moving forward, what the plans are, what the goals are, where I'm at currently. I guess the last video I made talking about football and talking about soccer was back in the summertime, back in August. I had a tryout, of course, in Texas, and I spoke about briefly having a tryout in August. That turned out to be just a practice opportunity. It was nothing guaranteed, and it didn't make sense what they were offering to commit to that club long term. So that kind of fell through. I was kind of discouraged at the time because I was supposed to record that, and that seemed like a very good opportunity, but things weren't really laid out clearly for me to fully interpret correctly. Having said that, since then, just been training, just been working my ass off to maintain my fitness, and just wait for an opportunity. I know that doesn't sound very concrete, very, I guess, for sure. There's nothing that's guaranteed, of course, in football. And I thought by now I would have found a club that makes sense for me, but I haven't. And I'm patiently waiting, guys. And that's all it is. It's just a waiting game and find the right opportunity for me. I had a tendency back when I was in high school, even in college, I would just kind of jump into things and not really calculate it, not really assess the risks. And now I'm very risk-oriented. I know what I need to do in order to extend my career into my 30s. That sounds like a weird number to say, but it's coming faster than I think it is. And I'm fully healthy right now. That was the main thing last year, and the year before was just health and fitness and trying to get back to form. But I feel very confident in my abilities. I'm going to start doing more vlogs in the future to show you guys how fit I am and I know how confident I am in my abilities on the pitch. Until then, you're just going to hear me talk, but I'll back up what I say eventually in video format. But again, kind of going back to jumping into things, I didn't find the right opportunity in college. I just kind of jumped around from school to school, three schools in the span of 4 years, and of course in Germany I kind of bounced around and moved to California, and I was fortunate enough to find a club. But I didn't take the time, sit down, and look at the pros and the cons of the situation. I just wanted to sign with the club because it meant game time, because it meant practice time, because it meant extending my career, which that doesn't always make sense. And I say that because it's much better to find a club long term than it is to bounce around to 5 different clubs over the span of 7 years. And you can learn through me and my experiences and my failures. I would much rather wait 5-6 months and not play a match, just train on my own, than to sign for a club and then just leave the following season because it didn't make sense. We didn't fit, we didn't gel, we didn't communicate correctly. There's so many things that go into playing for a club long term that I haven't assessed correctly over the span of my career. So that's where I'm kind of at right now, guys, is just waiting for an opportunity, waiting for the correct moment to sign for a club. And I have opportunities abroad. But does it make sense to leave everything? I spoke about this in previous videos. Does it make sense to leave everything I have, everything I've built here when it comes to my companies, when it comes to football, when it comes to my contacts here in America, and just go overseas and kind of throw that away? And some of you guys may believe that I'm choosing money over football. If you want to believe that, go for it. But I'm looking at the long term in my career, and at this moment in time it doesn't make sense to leave everything here in America to just pursue one opportunity to play lower league professional football in a country I've never been to. So that's where I'm at right now, guys. I'm just making the correct connections in order to stay here in Southern California. I don't want to leave the West Coast. If that means going to Oregon, if that means going to Washington, so be it. I don't know the opportunities up there at the moment, but I'm pretty happy, pretty content, and I don't like that word of being satisfied because you become complacent and you don't strive for more when you get in that mindset. But I'm very happy, I guess you could say. That's the best word, is I'm happy with where I'm at right now in my career, in my business, making money, my friends, my relationships. Everything is going very well, besides finding a club, of course. But I guess the last thing I want to touch on very briefly is just that it seems like common sense to us older guys, but you don't want to stay in these lower league professional clubs for more than 1 to 2 years, maybe 3 years at the max. But you're trying to get in and get out. It's just a stepping stone, it's just a vehicle to where you ultimately want to be. And I see a lot of guys getting stuck in NISA, including me, getting stuck in USL 1, getting stuck in USL Championship. And having said that, there's certain clubs that do pay well, that do provide good benefits and good opportunities to progress in that one league. If you're 18, 19 years old, the worst thing you can do is just play USL 1 for the next 4 years. There's a cap to that experience, and a lot of guys just get kind of complacent, get satisfied with making $2,000, $3,000 a month at the most, with a little extra money in their bank account. And it's good football, it's fun, it's a lifestyle. It's a privilege to wake up every day and strap on the boots and do that for a living. Having said that, the long-term consequences of making $2,000 a month into your 30s is monumental. You can take what I'm saying as inaccurate or false, or it's not true. You can kind of go in a different direction. But I talk to people every single day, professionals, coaches on LinkedIn mainly now, You know, I have the biggest network here in America when it comes to professional coaches, professional players at 15,000. I talk to these players every single day. What they mainly say is that it's very hard to progress your career in USL 1, USL Championship, and NISA. Most of these players that start in that league will stay in that league, and that's very detrimental to your career if you stay in this league long term. If you want to reach the peak of your potential, you have to move on very quickly. A lot of these guys that I follow, that I look up to, are in a very unique situation right now because there's not a lot of opportunities to progress your career to a different league that's higher up, to make a decent living, to start a family, to have the correct wage, to even buy a house. There's a lot of problems, and I'm not saying to, massive reform to pay players $40,000 a year. There's enough recognition here in America, in my opinion, to make it. Is there enough recognition to get, that progression to MLS? Maybe, maybe not. I think the opportunities are still there to play higher up somewhere. But I feel for the guys that are in a position right now where they're forced to sign for a club they're not happy with, that they need minutes, that they need game time in order to extend their career. I don't need money from football to make it in life. I have enough opportunities outside of football to be very happy, very successful. I do it because I enjoy it. I've said this a million times. I'm not complaining at all for myself about the lack of money. Last year at LA Force, I made $200 in a month. I don't care about that, but I care for the players that have no opportunities outside of football to make money. And that shouldn't be the case, of course, because there's loads of ways to make money outside this game in order to fund your lifestyle. But I care for the players that just want to make football their life, nothing else. And that's really frustrating for me because I know the money's out there and you can say it's economics. I've done the math, guys. I've calculated. I've inquired enough with investors how to fund a club. That's going to be a goal in my future, is to have my own professional club. Not now, of course, but in my early 30s, mid 30s, that's what I want to do. And have the knowledge, I have the insight in order to make that a reality. But as of right now, this is kind of off topic, of course. We kind of went on a rant, but as of right now, I'm just waiting for the right opportunity for me. And I'm patient, I'm focused, and I think the opportunity is coming. So, yeah, thanks for staying along with this video, kind of all over the place, but there's a lot of things I'm very passionate about, and things get intertwined very quickly. But if you guys have any comments or questions about my career or anything you want to talk about, any advice you could give me regarding opportunities here in America that may be available to me, that'd be much appreciated. But yeah, I really focus on staying here in Southern California for the long term. And I appreciate all of you guys if you would respect that decision, because I know it's not an easy one. I've been making videos on YouTube now for the past 4 years. I've acquired a lot of people that have more knowledge than I do about this game, but I've calculated the risks, I've assessed the pros and the cons, and I believe this is the right decision for me. So, of course, if you guys have any comments, leave them down below, and of course, I'll check you in the next video. Deuces!